Oh my God, Wig, can you please let the police handle it? You don't know what you're doing. I hate hearing from internet sleuths. Everybody needs to calm down. All of the inaccuracies, all of the videos, the TikToks, this, that, and the third. Everybody's just trying to get clout. Oh my God. You're right. Maybe everybody should hush. Except for in her case, it took her friends, students, and teachers reporting what was happening to her. And nothing. In her case, almost took a year. If you excuse me, I think we should just keep on talking because that's the only thing that seems to be working. Let's get into it. We're going to go through a journey of people who were involved in this case. And we're going to listen to the actual interviews. And we're going to listen to people who were putting boots to pavement from the beginning. Look, I am into why things are happening. If you're looking for just more videos, I'm probably not the channel for you. But if you're like me and you want to know why and you want to get into those psychological aspects, please subscribe and join and comment and let me know that you're with me. This case has taken a lot of people by storm. It's taken a lot of people by storm for a lot of reasons. Number one, her age, when we got more details, what happened, and just a lot of things that just shouldn't be. This is for information and educational purposes only. Please always feel free to do your own research. If you're just jumping in, let's get into what this case is about. Keimani Latigue, 13-year-old, on March 18th, was reported missing in Toledo, Ohio. But her mother, Tiara Caston, had last saw her when Keimani's father, Darnell Jones, dropped her off and brought her to Caston's home, where they spent time playing video games and all of that. So the mother got the chance to see her, and then, since we know what happened, I'm so glad that she had that opportunity. Later on, there were some discrepancies about when she went missing because Darnell, which is the child's father, told people that he went to the house on Sunday because Keimani was actually scared and said that she was in fear and heard noises. So he said he went with his cousins and to see what was happening and all of that. That Monday, the grandmother who Keimani is staying with actually said that she was not at school. Now, there's still some discrepancies about this because her friends said they saw her on Monday, so the official date became March 18th. Okay, now this is going to be one case where you're going to hear things that are almost the same and all that. That's why when you get cases that are really developing, you're going to have to really wait for the end before all of it locks in. But what I want to do on this particular video, I want to hear the interviews. And because, again, I'm into the psychological aspect of it, because I'm a writer, been full-time creating monsters for a living for over 20 years, I want us to hear some of these interviews. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on them. I want to start with what I call the Darnell Jones confession. Now, it's not a confession about this, but if we listen to this interview, I feel like something was going on and he was in turmoil and about something else. I don't know. It could have been this, but I want y'all to hear it. Before you get started, ain't nobody trying to get people off. The reason why we continuously see these kind of things is because, number one, we are breeding monsters who are giving birth to monsters because the mental health aspect has been totally locked out. And so if we don't address it, we're going to continue to have this kind of thing going. So let's listen to the interview, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. I am going to be pausing throughout it because, again, my channel is about understanding why and telling you what I hear and what I feel from doing research. But I'm just giving you that in advance. Let's go. Now, as we know, Keimani Latigue did not make it. She was found deceased in an abandoned home. And I want us to listen to this video because this was an old video. We believe it's around 2018, 2019. But listen to how he sounds. And we're going to be pausing it throughout.
There's some things that people don't know. Have a lot of explaining.
I added captions because I wanted us to see too, because some things are inaudible.
So much stress, so much anger, and I'm just trying to do the right thing. I pray, I read my Bible, I try to help out people the best as I can, and I'm just not feeling this.
Now we could say right now that him saying that he read his Bible, he does, it's almost like, look, I'm a good person, so this thing should not be happening to me, whatever this thing is. It's almost like he's trying to justify or make an excuse for something that he is feeling, and you'll hear more of that when we go in.
And it ain't financial or none of that, bro. If you thinking that's what it is, it's nothing like that. Just something mental. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through something mentally and physically upset.
Now, he said mentally and physically. Now, we can always say that he's faking it. This was earlier. This was before Keimani was gone. And as we know, if you don't know, he is right now believed to be responsible. But what could he have been going on mentally and physically? Like, you could say he's faking all day long, but you don't get this kind of raw emotions except something is wrong.
I ain't been feeling the same. Ain't nothing wrong, man. Just, I don't know. There's a lot of that's on my chest that I can't control. And I don't know how to explain it, man. All I gotta do is just keep trying to stay good, be good.
He's telling himself in this video, like, who needs to tell themselves, I need to be good. I need to stay good, be good. Like, I'm a monster, but I just gotta stay good and then be good, or I'm gonna snap. That's serious.
That's what. I ain't get on here to have nobody show sympathy, nothing, or anything. It's just something that happens to people out here. And nobody know what really the real stories be. You know?
What the hell did he mean by that? So many things happen to people out here, and nobody knows what the real story may be. Sir, what are you talking about?
I just get on here trying to let people know what's going on. If you care, you care. It's just something mental. I just want a hug, y'all. Give me a hug. A hug would be wonderful.
I don't know about that, sir.
You remember when you told me that God got a plan for me? You told me God got a plan for me. And that's the reason why I keep going through all of this shit. Because he keep putting me through the test. When is the test going to be over, bro?
I found from my research that some of the most religious people and some of the people that are mostly in contact with their spirituality are some of the most dangerous people. Not all the times, but a lot of times. There are people who have been sociopaths that can quote the Bible better than your best pastor. What is going on? Again, this is around 2018, 2019.
I just want to be over with. I hate the way I feel. I hate the way I see things.
I hate the way I feel. I hate the way I see things. He is in turmoil with himself. Things, I don't know what was happening right here during this time. I'm sure some people may know, but whatever it is, he's 5 seconds from snapping right now. What does he mean?
And all I do is sit back and try to just act like I don't see because if I do something about it, I'm going to jail. I'm the one getting in trouble.
It's very much given, I got 5 seconds before I go off. This Darnell Jones video, when I saw this, it proved my point that if we don't clean up and start doing some kind of mental health welfare things within our communities, we're gonna be like this. Oh my God, it's happening again. It's happening again. That's why I say I'm not that channel. Yeah, we can look at the videos on our own and do our search on our own. I want to be amongst people, and again, subscribe and join and like, if you feel me. They're trying to get in contact with it. You're trying to get a hold of this. He had a girlfriend. So perhaps if she knew, and she may have known how much turmoil he was, maybe she could have suggested he get some help or anything. At some point, depending upon what you did, sir, you got to go to jail. But I now want us to go into the next interview. I want us to go into the first interview from Dorothy. This is before she was actually found, she being Keimani. Like I already mentioned, Keimani, 13 years old, was staying with her grandmother. She was not living with her mother at that time. She was living with her grandmother. I don't even have her mother on here. Nope, I don't have her mother on here. She was living with her grandmother at that time. But let's listen to this first interview before Keimani was found. I found some of the things to be interesting, and I want to get and see what you think. I have some captions on this too. And I just want you to pay attention to how she talks and how she acts. It's just, some things don't really add up. But
when I walked in the house, all of the gas was on in the house. Like the stove was on. There was no fire, but you can hear and smell the gas on in the house. And that's definitely unusual. Other than her and I, it's just the 2 dogs in the house. So,
and there's some discrepancies on who lives in this house. She keeps saying it's just her. I only heard 1 dog, now I hear 2 dogs. But there was some discrepancies that there were some other people in the house. That's alleged, not really sure. But it's like,
who cut it on?
I'm not a fan.
So
Okay.
that was kind of suspicious. Then her glasses and her underclothes were by the couch in the front room. Her pajamas were in the dining room and the floor. So it was just out the ordinary.
When you say glasses, does she need those glasses to see? I mean,
she wears glasses on a daily basis. Yes, she needs them for school, just period.
Let's go into the other video with Darnell. He was interviewed that same day. Monsters lie so good. Like, they just lie so good. Let's hear him with a straight face say all that he has said.
Yeah, she has her own keys, so she left glasses and keys. It ain't adding up. I'm saying.
At some point, the grandmother's going to be like, him, when they ask who was in the house. You're going to hear it, but I want to just let you know it's coming.
does she have a cell phone?
Yeah, and it's going straight to voicemail.
Okay, all right.
And she tried to call me at 1:29, and then she called my girl like 5 other times. And the last call came in at 1:49. So she was trying to get in contact with somebody.
And so no one has had contact with her. Nobody saw her. Who was the last person to really see her?
It was me. I came over here because she said that if it seemed like somebody was trying to break into the house. So I sat for an hour. Me and my cousin, we sat over here. And we left around like 12:30ish. And she tried to call at like 1:29, and I missed the call. So she was calling everybody else too.
That is horrifying. How good and how with a straight face he could just say these things. Now I want us to go into this interview with Dorothy. This is the interview after everything was done. Keimani is found in the abandoned house. Tensions are flaring. People are upset. We're not going to be able to go through the whole interview because it's really long, but there are certain points that I want us to hear and pay attention to. Again, I added captions. Let's go. Now, there are many problems I have with this video, but Keimani is known on record to be a good girl. And there are several things that if she's a good girl, then I feel like it shouldn't have gone on in the house. But first thing I want to put light to is what Dorothy claimed happened in terms of her being taken by the police.
Waiting to see if it was Keimani that was in the home, and basically some people from the neighborhood had contacted me and said that there was a mob in front of my house and they were talking about what they were going to do to me once I came home. So the police, the detective, said that she would have a unit come out and help me get my things and more or less escort me off the property. I asked to be handcuffed just so they can get the away from my property.
What sense does that make? There's something that they're not telling us with this part. I'm not saying that they didn't come to take her off, but who asked to be handcuffed? The reason the mob was out there was because they thought that she was personally responsible. Handcuffs by themselves indicate a convict or somebody who's being arrested for something that they did. Who asked that? And if she did ask it, that's very dumb.
Are you scared? So no, I was never arrested. I was taken downtown, but I was never arrested. Home for the past 5.5.
Here she's going to be talking about that Keimani has been in her home for the past 4 to 5 years. But there are people who are on record saying that is not the case, that she had her since she was a baby. And we're going to hear from those people later.
The legal guardian of Keimani.
Okay. So in terms of taking care of her, when was Kemani placed under your care?
A year ago.
So you take care of her?
She's been in my home for the past 5.5 years, but I just obtained legal custody of her a year ago.
Were you and Kemani close?
We were.
Now, this reporter, who I really liked, ended up asking her something about child, right? And what she says doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
And that's how I feel that, how all of this is played out, I feel that's what happened. She was a virgin. She didn't like boys.
What does that got to do with anything?
There's also comments, and we're just trying to address those and get those addressed, but there's comments online and speculation again that, Kemani, her home situation, she was abused. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, whose eyes? Because she was not, yes, she was chastised whenever she was wrong or did things wrong. Other than that, she was not just whooped for no reason or just because I felt like it. I've went through this twice because the school system had contacted CSB on her behalf when she went to Bennett Academy.
This is why this person is getting so much, turmoil. Babies and children to not to get and especially in Black homes, we know that it happens. But apparently it happened to a level so horrible that the teachers, her friends, and all of that chimed in. But now I want y'all to hear something else. I want to go to her daughter.
I'm Keimani's aunt. My name is Sanika. I live in Indianapolis. All this that is going on is devastating. You wouldn't think that.
After she says this, the next thing she's going to be interested in is the money. GoFundMe.
You see it happen around the world, but when it hits close to your heart, you really just be thinking like, did I do something wrong? Did I fail her? She didn't have the life to live that we have got to grow and live. She was only 13. So to know that somebody that I trusted, which was her father, to come through and deceive us just to get to Keimani.
I mean, is he her father or not? Because everybody is saying that that's the father, even though Dorothy went on record saying that he was not the biological father.
Or a harmful way. That hurts me to the fullest. And the point, I feel like I failed her.
The question now is, does she think her mom was kind of responsible? And listen to what she says.
She failed her. She had something to do with it. She had this and that. It doesn't matter at this point. For right now, and until we get justice for Keimani, it's all about Keimani.
Why doesn't it matter at this point if she had something to do with it? I'm not saying that she did, but it matters because we still have not locked down and said 100% that these are the people that are involved.
What I would like to say is there's a lot of people on the internet starting GoFundMes, and that's not what we need right now, because it's not what Keimani needs. The funeral home has objected to say that they're going to come and pay for everything. So there's no need for any GoFundMe pages, any of that.
Have you been in contact with Tiara, the mother?
Yeah, I've been in contact with my sister. It's been briefly. It's been over through text. Like I said, I live in Indianapolis. I seen her yesterday, but that was very brief. It wasn't even more than 5 minutes. It was more or less that she wanted to show me my other niece, Kazaria, which is Keimani's youngest sister. But it wasn't like it was oh sis, what are we gonna do? Any of that. And I don't wish this on nobody. I really don't.
And again, they're gonna be talking about this girl being a tomboy and didn't like boys and all that. But listen also how she talk about the mother.
Like I said, I have a very close relationship with Keimani. She was a tomboy. She wasn't out looking for, trying to be fast or, mischievous or any of that. So for her mother to come down and have all this to say and all that, Tier, where was you for the past 4 years? We haven't seen you since Keimani TikTok party.
We're gonna go into what some say happened in this relationship. Let's go into that next. We looked at Darnell's confession. We looked at first interview from Dorothy. We went to first interview from Darnell. The interview where after the baby Keimani was found, the aunt. And now I want to go into I spelled the name Proft, but it's Prophet P.I. Every case has somebody who is essential in the case. And in Keimani's case, he is definitely one of the people. Now, he has a lot to say about the family. Like, we just saw the videos where the sister was like, she wasn't around. And I mentioned the GoFundMe. The reason why I was like, why we spending time talking about GoFundMe, because to me, there were so many other things we could have talked about the person she was in school and all of that. But, that could be touche. But let's listen to what he says about.
Is the granddaughter of Dorothy. Dorothy lied on Tiara while Tiara was having the baby. Tiara invited her up there in order to see her granddaughter. Dorothy lied on her, said that she was homeless, said that she was on narcotics and all this other stuff. She fabricated an entire story. In the moment that Tiara had this baby right here, Dorothy came up there with authorities and told them this fabricated story and took this baby from her. And then from there, did not allow that side of the family to come visit their relative, Keimani. Now, that's a lot of things that's been happening with Kemani living in that household. A lot of things have been covered up. And since people are saying that I'm not coming with facts, let me give you a little bit of fact right here. There was one summer that Kemani went to a friend's house, and she told her friend and her friend's mother what's been going on in her household.
So he is saying that because whenever you have somebody that's in front of the case, everybody got a person, like I said. In Zaya Harris' case, it was Roxy and a few other people and some YouTubers and all that kind of stuff. In this case, it's him. He was saying that some people sometimes say you don't come with facts. So he's saying that he has facts. He's spoken directly to the people who are involved. And these are the things that were happening. And that she had been under Dorothy's care.
They shouldn't be putting their hands on her the way that they were putting it on her. And then the mother of the friend tried to talk to Dorothy and getting Dorothy to allow Kemani to stay at their house and go to school from there. But Dorothy came up with this story and said, oh, those people don't live there anymore. See, Dorothy knew what was going on. She knew what was going on with a lot of people's secret. You see, the sad thing about it is Tiara, the other cousins, Kat and all them, they didn't know that this baby was missing until some of them found out on Facebook. And Tiara, she found out because somebody told her.
Can you imagine being a mother and not finding out until somebody sees something on Facebook? Like, that is insane.
Later on. They didn't notify her earlier on. They told her later on. I see a lot of people coming for Tiara. I see a lot of people coming for Kat and the rest of the cousins. I see a lot of people coming for them. But y'all looking in the wrong direction. And I feel like this. If you're going to attack somebody, if you're going to come at them sideways out the side of your neck selling wolf tickets and stuff, especially when Dorothy pulled a firearm twice on Kat and them, just because they were looking around, they wanted to search the abandoned house next door and they wanted to look in the house and stuff. And for her to do that, you're hiding something.
Once he found out, he did that original video before she was actually found. But this one is when he goes into a little bit more. This is after.
And I'm pissed off. The first thing is the school, there are teachers at the school and some classmates' parents who actually did report everything that was going on at this house of horrors to CPS. It is documented where they reported that. One of the teachers commented in a couple of my videos. I said this prior.
And we're going to talk about that.
But she commented in one of my videos, even on the book face, where she reported this stuff and several other people reported this, but nothing was ever done or investigated by CPS. They failed this baby. Another failure that I saw is they didn't issue an Amber Alert. They're trying to come up with an excuse talking about, well, there's criteria in order to issue an Amber Alert. This baby met all the criteria. And the only reason you went out there and started searching is because you had boots on the ground up of a community that came together and started doing the searching themselves.
This is why I started off my video the way I started off my video. You can say a whole bunch of stuff about a lot of things, but for the noise, but for the internet sleuths, and there are many at this point, thousands probably, but for the people with all their conspiracies, but for all of that, nobody cared. It wasn't until this community got involved, because all the departments were called and there was no motion. It wasn't until the community got involved that things got expedited, and unfortunately it was too late. I wonder what would have happened if they got there a little bit sooner, if they listened.
Then you had the power of social media calling you guys to the forefront, putting the heat up under your boot. And then listening to this right here.
Told to me that he was her biological father. However, her biological mother has told me on several occasions that he is not. So I don't know what to believe, but I know that he was present. He's been more present than the biological mom. And I feel deceived. Like, you played for so long in my face, like you was her dad, like you really had her best interest at heart. But where is she?
All of that yin yang she was talking, that's called deflection. She was deflecting, trying to get all the heat off of her and put it on other people.
That's what I feel too.
Keimani was telling people what was going on. And the only reason a lot of the other families like Tiara and Kat and all them were not able to find out what was really going on because Dorothy kept them from her.
So as we can see, things are more heated than ever, right? Now I want us to go really quickly into the teacher. I want to read her comments, because she actually commented once she found out. This is Keimani's teacher for school. She said, "I am not okay. I tried so hard to get her removed from the environment. Sweet baby, my heart is broken. The system is broken. I'm sick, but mostly just sad. I enjoy being able to teach her, give her a hug every single morning she came to school, because that was all she ever wanted. Her friends tried, I tried, the school staffs tried, but no one listened. They wouldn't allow her to have a voice. And now, thank you, Toledo's Children's Centers, for your lack of children." Y'all can read it. It's on my screen. And then she says, "I was her teacher. She told us she didn't feel safe. She told us she was terrified to go home. I made multiple reports to trying to get the help she desperately needed. All of our voices were left unheard. We told them over and over." This is why you need the internet. This is why you need people like online sleuths and even the conspiracies. There's a saying that says, even the wicked. And I really do believe that. Like, even the most tragic of situations, specifically in this case, in the cases that are similar to it, are starting to enlighten people. People are starting to pay attention now. And they're going to start demanding more and more from their communities. Don't let nobody silence you. And I know I'm not.